Navitas has went from $6 to almost $18 back down to $12. Have you already entered? What should you do? What's going on with the stock? In this video, I'm going to answer these questions and I'm going to explain to you guys a very specific date that's going to be great for Navitas. You're going to want to own the stock prior to the date. Right now at the current price is a much better buy than it was at $16. First, let me start out by explaining that Navitas is solving problems for companies, and that's what we're looking for, solutions, and more specifically AMD, Taiwan Semi, more importantly, Meta, Microsoft, and NVIDIA as the biggest one with their Maxwell chipsets and their H100s. And with the Maxwell chipsets for servers, with NVIDIA, they solve a problem of heat and efficiency and cooling with their 800-volt VDC and their SiC and GaN, gallium nitride, and silicon carbide. Navitas is not just in servers and server datas and chipsets. They're also in car chargers, phone chargers, tablets, computers, computer devices, the EV and electric batteries, and they're going to be in EV chargers eventually as well. They're expanding, broadening their horizons across the entire landscape of anything that involves electricity, charging, and chipsets, which is pretty much everything and is the future. AI, everything is built on AI and server data. So when you think about it, so we run through this list: servers and data centers, AI. We also have autonomous robots and deliveries coming up with Tesla, all the EVs. We have computers, pretty much phones, tablets, everything and far and few between. Navitas is going to be solving these problems. So this is pretty much a very big opportunity to get into a stock that is going to be branched out amongst every form of electronic device in the world at some point, with efficient energy, efficient charging, less power consumption, and cooler, and the list goes on and on. This could be a very massive play and very likely, but of course there's no guarantee, and with every investment there's always risks. Even Vader will tell you there's a lot of risks in the market, right? Or are you just going to leave all the risks up to me? I think he's just going to leave me to all the risk taking. So Navitas is a strong company. Vader approves it, right? Tell them, Vader, you approve Navitas, right? Do you approve? I think he approves. Do you approve Navitas? I think he does. Go back to bed. All right. If you guys want to see more Vader, I'll try to have him around the screen a little bit more. He's been tired and just lounging around with all this rain that we've been getting. So let's dive into Navitas, talk about what this company does in detail, and let me explain to you guys. Strap in, stick around, don't skip any part of this video. I'm going to show you guys the date that I am eyeing on this stock. You're going to want to buy this stock before that date, because that is when I anticipate the stock is going to start moving back up again, and you're definitely going to want to own it before that. So sit tight, strap in, don't skip any part of this video, because if you want to make the profits that you're seeing right here, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, even $100,000 per trade, like my students are making currently in the Discord, I have a very big trade opportunity for you in this video. Somewhere in this video, I'm going to share with you one of my Discord trades. You do not want to miss it. So sit tight. Let's dive into Navitas. Navitas Semiconductor is focusing on AI data centers and energy infrastructure as its next big growth areas. During its second quarter 2025 earnings call, the company stated that its power demand for AI could grow from 7 gigawatts in 2023 to more than 70 gigawatts by 2030. This presents a big opportunity for Navitas Semiconductor to capitalize on this shift. During the second quarter, Navitas Semiconductor announced its collaboration with NVIDIA to support NVIDIA's plans to set up 800-volt AI data centers. Navitas Semiconductor expects 3 stages in the new 800-volt setup. The first stage involves converting grid-powered 800 volts, followed by stage 2, where 800 volts are converted to 48 volts, and lastly, stage 3, where the 48 volts are converted to 12 volts or less for processors. Each step will need a GaN and an SiC chipset, and therefore the company estimates that this could become a $2.6 billion yearly market by 2030. The company is already working on products for all 3 steps and plans to send final samples to customers later this year. However, Navitas Semiconductor is witnessing near-term challenges in its China business and expects its third quarter revenues to be down due to tariff risks in China. Moreover, lower demand in the EV and industrial markets is also hurting the company's prospects. Additionally, the company has also decided to reduce exposure to low-margin mobile businesses in China, which is expected to hurt the company's financial performance in the third quarter. Management expects a few softer quarters before the new AI and infrastructure projects begin to offset the weakness. With that being said, it doesn't change the fact of what Navitas is setting out to do. They're going to be involved in pretty much every electronic device, charging, consumer electronics, cell phones, tablets, computers in China in the near future. They've just pulled out due to tariff risk right now, or at least softened that area, but it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And if you're getting the stock at a discount and you're going to hold long term, which you should in dollar cost average, because remember, good stock over time and dollar cost averaging equals profits. So this would make it a buying opportunity. Not to mention they got recently upgraded from $4 a share to $12 a share. So this is very important to also understand that Navitas just recently picked up an upgrade, and the fact that they're going to have a softer quarter, they say, earnings report coming up also made the stock sell off. This earnings is likely to be decent, and if it is and they meet expectations or beat it, the stock could run, and if it runs and you're in, then you're already making money. Now it could pull back, and if it does, then you would dollar cost average. But long term, the grand scheme of things with Navitas is to dollar cost average when it's down and up. I buy 2 on the dip and 1 on the high, constantly averaging my price over time. Because if Navitas runs to $50 in 3 or 4 or 5 years down the road, it's better to have 10,000 shares at 12 than it is to have 3,000 shares at 8. Doesn't make any sense. You want to have more shares, and then while averaging that cost down and adding more shares. This is a great company that is going to change the landscape likely going forward of how electronics, servers, and pretty much anything AI or infrastructure related is going to efficiently use power, stay cooler, use less power, and just overall be more efficient. Navitas is set out to do just that. Let's take a look at the charts on Navitas and show you guys exactly what's going on. I'm going to give you guys a big piece of information, what date I am looking to own Navitas on. And also, if you are having trouble understanding what I'm about to talk about, technical analysis, my AVP, my D-stochastics RSI, my DFib, these strategies that I teach in Discord, if this is confusing you, maybe you're losing money in the market, you don't know where to get started, you don't know how to begin, I would love to help you. The link to get started in Discord is below. I would love to show you what you're doing wrong in your portfolio and help you make profits consistently, grow your portfolio, and live a better life. But don't take my word for it. If you want to make the profits you're seeing on the screen right there, where we printed 50, 60, 70, even $100,000 on Tempest AI, Snowflake, most recently Meta and Microsoft, and we still have more trades coming out on Darkpool and AMD in the Discord this week, and other stocks as well. Don't take my word for it. Let's take a listen to what my student Josh had to say. How you doing, Josh?
Hey, Corey. Good to see you again. Thanks for having me.
Of course, absolutely. And a lot of people have joined the Discord over the past year and done so well. And the truth is, you're the inspiration for all of them joining, most of them, and growing their portfolios. But you were my first student from 300,000 to 800,000. But you hit some speed bumps psychologically, and we had to crack that.
Started just like everyone else. I came across Corey's videos pretty early on. I was just really impressed with your approach to everything. I've actually explored other ones before as well, and a lot of them don't work. And so I can honestly say from the results themselves as well, but just how much you've developed me through this time period, helping me come from someone who knew very little about options trading to someone who now has that foundation and the skill set and also the psychology and mindset far surpassed what I originally set out to do. I was a victim of the market, and now I feel very much as I'm someone who's in the market, trading the market.
How does it feel to be a part of the Millionaires Club?
Honestly, it took me a minute to just understand what it meant. It was one of those dream goals that you have as anyone setting out to start to trade and do this, but nothing really changes, to be honest with you. I think if anything, now I'm really excited to accomplish my goal. Going forward, it just becomes, now let's set a new goal. It feels really good to have a skill set and have a goal and be able to accomplish it. I think everyone should take masterclass or advanced training, elite coaching with Corey. I'm really excited to keep contributing to Corey's community, joining our calls on the weekly basis, and then also being live in the Discord. I get a lot of energy out of it. We have a really great group, and it's all because of Corey. Anyone can do this. I did not expect to be someone who could become a millionaire trader. The reason why you want to work with Corey as opposed to someone else is because he truly cares. He's just as invested in you, in building your skill set mindset and training you to become a very good and profitable trader. He actually built a serious program. He adapts to all different types of traders, no matter what they are, whatever their own personal goals are, whether you're in the retirement stage or you're someone that's really trying to build wealth and actually become like an active trader yourself. Corey's community is awesome. We have fun together. We also share ideas and trade and that sort of thing, trading overall. It's about making money, right?
So you heard my student Josh had to say, if you want this to be your success story, I would love to help you. The link to get started with Discord is below. Click on that and I will be looking forward to helping you in the Discord real soon. So as you guys can see, NVTS has taken a beating. I've used my quad stochastic RSI and my DFib, and I've looked at this stock, and the pullback I called was right here at 1260, and I called that on the 22nd of October, which was a week ago. The stock has yet to break that, so it is the new support. My AVP on this stock is between 1020 and 1291. We're right at the top of that AVP, so I'd be looking to buy in this range. Just to give you guys a little understanding of my AVP, I will show you exactly what I'm doing. It is right here on the most recent low. There's a way that I set this up, but briefly, I'm just going to put it up here for you guys to see. This is the average weighted price. We're right at the top. It actually moved up right around there. And so this is actually where the AVP would be. And we're right at the top, and it's utilizing this as support. So if it dips anywhere between 1050 and 13, this yellow range is a gold mine opportunity to buy. Remember, there's risks with every stock. There's always risks in the stock market. There's no guarantees. So you want to put no more than 10% of your portfolio in any one position or any one stock. This way, you're not over leveraged. So you want to be very safe on how you handle this situation. But this stock going forward is likely to do this number in the coming 6 months to a year. And if you're getting in at this price, it is a very good price to get in at. So as promised, I would be looking to get into NVTS by a specific date. This specific date, there's really two dates. One is earnings on November 3rd, Monday. So you'd have to add today and tomorrow to get in, because as Monday happens, we have data. It could sell off a bit, then it'll run before. And then right on earnings, it could be somewhere in the $14 range. And if they meet or beats, I've even seen stocks that miss, it could run. So we're going to be kind of in rough seas here today, and maybe tomorrow it'll run a little bit, but we could be kind of just consolidating. And Monday with data, it's most likely to drop. So we're probably going to see a whole lot of nothing till Monday. Data comes out good throughout the weekend, and on Monday, then it could have a nice run leading up to earnings. But I see it possibly going to $13.50, $14, and maybe even higher if the earnings is good and they meet or beat. But if they miss, it could drop down a little bit lower, but I don't think it's going to drop below $10.50 or $11. We shall see based on earnings. I already think it's fairly oversold to some degree, but this is definitely a range right here of support on the top of my AVP, and I do believe it will drop today, tomorrow, and even potentially Monday before earnings, possibly into the mid 11 range, which would be even better of a buying opportunity, because if earnings are good, it'll run, and in next earnings, it will run even more. So I'd be looking to add some before November 3rd. This is the date that you're going to want to own NVTS before, and more importantly, you're going to want to own it before February, before the new year, because that's where things are going to really shape up. And when the government opens and tariff talk gets better and Bitcoin is up and just the overall outlook globally is better going into the new year, you're going to want to own the stock. It very well could consolidate, drop on earnings, and then it could start to run. And by end of year, I really expect it to start running into the new year. So you're going to want to be in this stock at that point. So adding some now, if it drops, adding more. If it ends up going up, adding more is always good, because if you're adding some stock here, and more here, your average becomes here. So when it runs, your average is right there. So dollar cost averaging is good. If you buy here and it drops, and then you buy more down here, your average is here. So when it runs, your average is down there. So you really want to understand how to do this. And if you don't, I would love to help. You guys can sign up. Link in the information box below for Discord. It's part of what I teach and how my students make so much money. And this is what I want to show you how to do and how powerful it really is. But I definitely would want to own NVTS before November 3rd for earnings. And I would definitely want to own it for sure before the new year. So these are the two dates that you want to look at. And of course, as promised, I will show you guys a trade that is likely to go very well, very risky, but I told you I would hide a little tidbit in here for you. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much. And so this is the trade. ARM Holdings. You guys want to get in on the $230 call, and this is going to be for January 15th of 27. 230 call, January 15th, 27. This stock has never missed an earnings since they've been in the stock market the whole time, never missed a single earnings. Very strong company. If we look at the market cap of 180 billion and we divide that by their trailing 12-month financials, 180 divided by 12, we can see the price of sales is going to be somewhere in the 40 range, which is a little on the high side, but we can see that they have a big growth on EBITDA all the way across the board. They're still sitting at $1 billion trailing 12-month. Net income is also 100, 200 million per quarter. Lots of growth in 2023. And not only that, also have a very strong balance sheet with a lot of equity and no debt. Net debt is negative 2.51 billion, which means you can't have a negative net number. Therefore, they're sitting on 2.5 billion in cash, and their equity is over 7 billion, meaning they can cover all of their liabilities and still have $7 billion. The cash flow is astronomically good, almost $750 million per year in free cash flow. Operational activities is also strong, and we look at their net income and pre-tax income, all very strong. This company overall, just a great company. You're going to want to definitely at some point participate in these call options because it could also fly on this earnings. Although this gives you plenty of time, it's similar to holding the shares, as it's going to be just a little over a year out. We're looking at 15 months almost, which is a lot of time, low theta. And if it runs on this earnings, you'll be able to get out and make lots of profits. Remember, always take profits. You can't go broke taking profits. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Remember, if you want to make the profits that you're seeing on the screen right there, you want to make profits like my students, I would love to help you. The link to get started with Discord is below. Remember, what you put off today for tomorrow, someone else put off yesterday for today. Seize the moment. Act now. Let me show you what you're doing wrong with your portfolio. Let's make some money. I'll see you real soon. Take care. One love, fam.